with fantasy football drafts approaching in the next few weeks. And obviously, fantasy owners, they got to start prepping for the drafts and hope they make the right picks. Here's a few league-winning running backs I think can help you win your league this season. The first running back, Amari Hampton of the Los Angeles Chargers. Hampton, a highly touted prospect, first-round pick this year from this Charger team. I know they signed Najee Harris as well in free agency, but so far in training camp, Najee Harris, he hasn't practiced, and he's been sitting on the sidelines with an eye injury. So Hampton coming into the year, he obviously was a high prospect coming out of college. Was Hampton, 6 feet, 221, 4.4 speed at the combine. And I think he could be one of the better running backs out of the gate in fantasy football. We've seen it over the last couple seasons with young rookies coming out. Bijan Robinson, he's already been a top back in fantasy football. Jahmyr Gibbs, we've seen it with as well. Over the first 2 seasons of his NFL career, he's a top 5 pick going into the year. Bucky Irvin, last season, he had a great rookie season. A lot of running backs who've come in over the last couple of years, like I named, and they've taken the league by storm. They've been great fantasy football players. So like I said, this is a good offense over there for this Charger team. Last year, their backfield was Dobbins and Gus Edwards. They got a lot done in the backfield. And right now, with Harris on the sidelines and still have to pick up the playbook in his first year in Los Angeles and Hampton, he's been in training camp and practicing all preseason and getting in some game action. I think Hampton right away could step in. And if you haven't seen my video ranking at the running back position, I have him right now in the top 15 is Amari Hampton. But as drafts approach and preseason finishes up, I think Amari Hampton, he can move up boards even more going into the year with his upside, good receiving prowess out of the backfield. We saw him in college, and that speed and the physicality in between the tackles, he definitely could be obviously a league-winning back. And right now he's going mid-third, fourth-round range, which I think is good value for a guy who could have potential being a top 10 running back going into the fantasy football season. Next running back's another rookie, Ashton Ginty of the Vegas Raiders. He's one of the more hyped-up prospects at the running back position in the last decade is Ginty. So coming into the year, like I said, Ginty, the number 1 running back draft off the board by the Vegas Raiders. They improved their offense, in my opinion, from last season and this year, especially head coach. You got Pete Carroll, you brought him in. Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, we know he's got a mind for offense and different formations and looks he gives defenses. And also as well, going from Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith at the quarterback position, obviously is a good upgrade. And you got good guys on the outside as well, where teams aren't going to load the box nonstop. Brock Bowers breaking pretty much every rookie tight end record last year, entering his second season. And Jacoby Myers having a solid year as well with 87 catches last year. So I think Ashton Ginty, I have him 12th overall ranked going into the season, a back-end first-rounder for fantasy owners. And this guy, he's going to get a big workload, 270, 300 carries, because the last couple of years, this backfield, since Josh Jacobs left, has been a carousel of running backs. But now they draft their franchise running back is this Vegas Raider team. Physical in between the tackles. He's working on catching the football as well in training camp is Ashton Ginty. And he's the total package guy from day one that's going to come in and be a 3-down back. I know the offensive line is the only problem where they have concerns with that, but I think Ashton Ginty is a talented runner and could overcome some of that as well. And like I said, Chip Kelly, he's a good offensive mind. And Pete Carroll, he loves running the football, obviously. We scored all those years with the Seattle Seahawks with beast mode, Marshawn Lynch back there. So Ginty, I know some people might think the price is high for a rookie in the back end of the first round. But like I said, he's a generational talent at the running back position and someone who's going to get a monster workload and all the opportunity to have a big year. So I think he definitely could be a league winner for fantasy owners. Next back, Reese Hall of the New York Jets. Reese Hall last season, he was a top 5 pick going into fantasy drafts. And now he's going mid-third, fourth-round range, which I think is great value for Hall. I know people are scared off. He didn't rush for 1,000 yards last season. And also now Justin Fields at quarterback, where he runs a whole lot, and he might even steal goal line stampers from Breece Hall. But the thing with Fields, believe it or not, he don't run a lot from the goal line with QB sneaks. He's more open field, their own territory instead of opponent's territory. So Breece Hall last season, even in a bad year, 876 rush yards on the season, 5 touchdowns, 57 catches, where he's one of the better receiving backs out of the backfield, 483 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. So this Jet offense, to be honest, they don't have much going on over there in terms of players that can make defenses miss and have game-breaking ability. Besides Obviously, Garrett Wilson and Fields' athleticism. Reese Hall, he's that number 2 option on the offense and in the passing game as well. Like I said, one of the better receivers in the league. And for a guy who had, yes, a down year, no doubt about it, but now 3 years removed from an ACL injury, I think he'd go out there and have a monster season. And also, he's got a chip on his shoulder because he wanted a contract extension as well, like his teammates Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, who got big paydays. So Hall, he's got a chip on his shoulder. New offense where he's the number 2 option, worst case scenario, behind Garrett Wilson. And like I said, even in the down year, over 1,300 yards total was Reese Hall. So I think this season, especially ADP-wise, where he's going, where he could be a number 2 running back on your roster. If you start off in the first 2 rounds with a back and then go whole 3rd or 4th round, he has league-winning ability with his upside. It's still only 24 years old. The next back staying FC East is Devon Achane of the Miami Dolphins. I was big on Achane going into last season, and he came out with a monster year, especially in the receiving game. Last season, 203 carries, 907 rush yards, 6 touchdowns, a whopping 78 catches, 592 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns on 87 targets. I know Tua, he missed the majority of the season with an unfortunate another concussion for this Miami Dolphin team, but he's got the home run ability, Achane, and we saw in his rookie season where he was averaging 7 yards per carry was Achane. So he's got the home run ability. Last season, obviously, he showed he could get anywhere from 275 touches in the 300 range with over 200 touches carrying the football. And like I said, the 78 catches is Achane. So he's a full 3-down back. Raheem Mostert, he's gone. He's with the Raiders. I know Jalen Wright in his second year is going to be back up over there in Miami. But like I said, Devon Achane in this Mike McDaniel offense, one of the more explosive backs in all pro football. And when he gets space, he's going to make plays. And that's exactly what he's done is Achane. So right now, he's my 13th overall player. Him and Ginty, it's close. You could go either way with that going into fantasy drafts. And this Miami Dolphin team, they know, especially the coaching staff, that a lot's on the line this season. If they can't go out there, perform, and compete, even with all the injuries in the secondary and training camp, Mike McDaniel and his coaching staff's going to be fired, and even the GM and some of that front office might. So I think Devon Achane, they're heavily going to rely on him. And like I said, the first 2 seasons of his career in the NFL, he's had big years. And like I said, last season he did show he could stay healthy and carry a full workload. He definitely was banged up some games, limping on and off, but he fought through with his Achane, and he had a big year. And the 5th and final running back that I think could be a league winner for fantasy owners is another young running back entering his second season after he had a monster breakout year in his rookie year, is Bucky Irvin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Bucky Irvin last year, I had him as a late round sleeper with potential to get some work, but I never thought he'd go out there and put up over 1,100 yards on the ground, 207 carries, 1,122 rush yards, 8 touchdowns, a nice 47 catches, 392 yards, and a fumble loss. So he's a smaller back as well, like Achane, but he went out there and he showed he could hang his Bucky Irvin and be one of the best running backs in his rookie season in all pro football, especially to have over 1,500 yards total from scrimmage. And also as well 8 touchdowns in his rookie year. So Rachaad White, he couldn't get the job done. And Bucky Irvin, as the weeks went on, kept getting more touches. And he had some monster ball games, including a 3-touchdown game as well during the season, is Bucky Irvin. So right now he's going mid-second, late second round. On my rankings, he's the number 9 running back overall. But I think he's definitely a running back potential of being a top 5-8 guy if he really has this hot second season. And like I said, he's going to come in right away as a starter and getting touches. Well, last year they eased him in. They used more of a 5 to 10 touch per game the first month of the season running back until they saw what he could do in between the tackles, the explosiveness, and the strength as well breaking tackles. So I like Bucky Irvin a lot. This is a high-powered offense. Baker Mayfield, he's been great since he's been a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, we'll see if he's ready week 1, but they got the rookie Emeka Igboagbo and Jalen McMillan, who had a good rookie season as well. So this is a good offense. Bucky Irvin, I have confidence he could be good once again this season. And like I said, in his rookie year, to go out there 1,500 yards from scrimmage over that, and also 47 catches catching out of the backfield. He's back for this Tampa Bay Buck team, and he's good in pass protection as well. So that's a few running backs that I think could be league winners for fantasy owners, and guys definitely to target and try to draft in your leagues entering the 2025 fantasy football season.